Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. Today I'm going to show you a couple of neat ideas that you can use to create a thank you card. I'm going to use the Painted Harvest stamp set that's featured in the holiday catalog. If you don't have a holiday catalog yet, email me at terry@nutsaboutsstamping.com and I will be happy to provide one for you free of charge. That is, of course, if you don't already have a demonstrator. So I'm going to use this bundle. It's the Painted Harvest and it comes with the leaf punch. And I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that you can use to add interest to your card. I'm also going to show you a fun way to utilize your Stampin' Write markers to add colorful details. So hang on in through this video and I'll show you a lot of neat tips and tricks. So I'm going to start off right away by using my Big Shot, and I'm going to use this Petal, I think it's called Petal Burst embossing folder. I have a strip of Whisper White cardstock. It's sort of a leftover scrap piece, and I'm going to use this as a layer on my card. So I'm going to insert my Whisper White cardstock inside the folder. Just going to try and get it nice and even so that when the leaves are embossed, they're not crooked. And I have this set up for my Big Shot. I've got the Big Shot platform, which comes with the Big Shot. I've got my bottom standard cutting pad. I've got my cardstock inside the folder. And when you run your folder through the Big Shot, you want to make sure that you've got the fold or the crease that goes first. Then I'm going to put on the top standard cutting pad and then run it through. And that will create an embossed layer for my card. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, there it is embossed. Now you can use it two ways. You can have sort of what I call the outies, or you can have the innies. It's your artistic style and how prominent you want this to appear on the card. I'm going to have the outie side, and then I've got a couple of scrap pieces of the Wood Textures paper. It comes in a paper stack and it's really cool. So I'm going to use my snail adhesive and I'm going to add some snail to this strip, and I'm going to put one piece at the top of the embossed layer and one piece at the bottom of the embossed layer. And I'll show that to you. There. So I'm pulling in the browns and the wood texture to this card because the next thing I'm going to do is stamp a phrase from the Painted Harvest stamp set, and I'm going to use Early Espresso. So by coordinating colors, it makes it look as if this was all coordinated and designed carefully. Sometimes it's a hit and a miss, but most of the time. So for the phrase, I want the entire phrase to be Early Espresso. So I'm not using my markers. For this purpose, I'm using my ink pad because it makes quick and easy stamping. And then I'm going to die cut it out using one of my Stitched Shapes framelits. When you use Stitched Shape framelits, or you use any kind of metal framelit, it's a good idea to switch over to your magnetic platform. The benefit of having the magnetic platform is that the framelit holds in shape, it holds it down because it's magnetic, so it attracts the metal of the framelit and holds it in better place so it doesn't slip and slide when you run it through the Big Shot. I'm using the same sandwich, the platform, the standard cutting pad, the cardstock, the top standard cutting pad, and so on. I'll run that through. And the reason I love these stitch shape framelits is because it has that stitched look around the outside. So the stitch shape framelits come with ovals, circles, and squares, and 2 different sizes for each shape. So there's lots of uses. All right, so the next thing I want to do is create some images for my card front, and I'm going to use the leaves from the Painted Harvest set. This is a 2-step stamping. You stamp first and then you stamp right on top of it second. And so what I'm going to do is use my markers for the base, the solid image. I'm going to use my Always Artichoke for the leaves, and I'm going to use the brush end ink up each leaf, and then for the stem I'm going to use my Early Espresso, again pulling everything together like so, and then I'm going to stamp it down. And then the second time round I'm going to use my Old Olive for the second stamp. This is more of the veins, but it also has the stem of the leaves. And then the beauty of this is I can stamp right on top of my first image, and look, it gives it a really nice sort of layered look. That's why it's called 2-step stamping. So again, I'm going to do a second set. So I've got my darker color, the Always Artichoke, and then my Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp that down. What you didn't see in the video is I brought this to my mouth and I huffed on it. I just went, and it adds a little bit of moisture so that if the ink had started to dry, it would moisten it up a little bit and then allow it to be nice and fresh for stamping the image down. So I'm going to do that again. Stamp as close as I can on top, and then I am done with my leaves. So that's one of the main benefits of owning the markers. They come in sets of 12, or you can buy an entire case of them and get all of our colors. And now I'm going to punch the leaves out using the leaf punch. There's one. And 2. Now I believe I am ready to put my card together. My base is going to be Whisper White. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5, scored it on the 4 1/4 mark, and it's going to be a portrait layout. And then the next thing I want to do is add my leaf embossed layer. So I'm going to attach that using snail adhesive. Snail is a nice, strong adhesive. It's really sticky. Works quite well. Okay, so there's my layer. Now the next thing I want to do is bring in a strip of the Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper. Now the reason I chose this pattern is that it has the Old Olive and the Always Artichoke colors, and it also has leaves on it. So I'm trying to pull everything together and coordinate everything. So don't forget to try and combine your paper designs with your embossing folders. Pull everything together. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add the phrase, "Your kindness means so much to me." I decided to attach my phrase using 2 Stampin' Dimensionals, pop it off the card front, but it will also allow me the opportunity to add my leaves underneath, like so. I think maybe, yeah, I think that's kind of cute. All right, so I'm going to turn my leaf over and add a bit of snail to each leaf, tiny bit to the stem. I'm going to tuck that in like that. And then the second one, I'm going to attach the same way. And then I will be done my card. Like so. There we go. A quick and easy thank you card that I created with the help of my Big Shot and a few different products. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurement for all of the layers, and also an ordering button, so if you want to place an order for these projects, for the products I used to make this card, please visit my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I hope you'll create something beautiful today too. Bye for now.